1 or 2 bars in terms of volume. Like this, it's like from it's not even 7 o'clock. Like it's barely anything. If that makes any sense. Yeah, it's about as loud as I'm talking right now. Yeah, mixing on headphones is hard. I have experienced that. Yes, it's devastating, especially when you're like working on a kick and it's really bassy. Your ear starts to close up. Yeah, it's best to not use headphones. How long does it take me to finish a track? I could finish a track in probably 20 minutes. Or it could take me, depending on the effort and what it's doing, maybe a day. I always do it in one sitting though. Or unless it's like really important, then I'll spend a bit longer on it. Like for like like album material, it's quite a few revisions over a couple days, bouncing around. What are some cheap monitors? Cheap. Don't get anything under 47 hertz. The resolution. You need to be able to hear down to 47 at least. But I would stick to KRKs. Only because everyone hates them. Bam. Pretty much. Let me check my stuff really quick. LOL. Yeah. But yeah, don't go cheap, but go economical. Do I find Live 9 is a bit more CPU intensive? It is a little bit. But yeah, not too bad. Well, when it's idle, I can tell when it's idling. That's because I got crazy stuff going. But it's only intensive for me because I have like the viruses in IO, and that's like latency, and it's processing 3 channels. Oh, my CPU core. Yeah. That's my number 1 tip. Get hyperthreading. Because each channel, the processing can't be spread out. So like the more cores you have in theory, like the lighter the load and more responsive it'll get. Kind of thing. Makes sense a little bit. How do you contact people for DJing? Just email them a link to your tracks and wait to hear back? I don't do that because it bugs people. Like if it's a big deal, then I have a list of DJs with radio shows that they're actually looking for music, because other than that, it's just rude. And usually they won't open it. But like, if you're gonna send it to a DJ, put something hilarious in the title. Like in the title, put like, this is like the number 1 summer track. Holy shit, you gotta play this. Don't miss out. Then you'll get their attention, because usually they get like 20 a minute. They usually don't send feedback. You'll notice that DJs are very introverted and standoffish, especially the bigger ones. They will maybe take it and play it and not tell you, and they won't leave feedback because they're weird. Better than fucking Levels. Yeah, I used to be like, this is the new Levels. If you don't sign this or play this, you will miss out on millions of dollars. And bad things will happen to you. Yeah. DJs though, I know a few. They're all weird. They're all weirdos, just like me. And you. They're more so weirdos because they do weird shit. Like this fucking will.i.am shit that's going on. It's like the stupidest thing. And they're undermining everyone's intelligence. Like it wasn't fucking clear. That's bullshit. The levels tutorial, it's not. Levels isn't that simple. Well, it's more layery type bits. I like what he did though. Only a Swedish guy could figure that out. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, that will.i.am stuff. You don't want to know what that is. What happened with will.i.am? I think they cleared it, but now they want the attention, so they said, "Oh, he stole it without our permission." No major label just takes something. You know what I mean? Things are cleared. If this was a bigger deal, you would see like court litigation, and they would have told him to not mention it because that wouldn't help their case. Do you do music for a living? Yes. I live on music. People always ask me that, but then they don't ask how. I know a little bit about how it works. It's funny. Yes, sell songs. How? I like you, Nave. You're an alright guy. For those that don't know Nave, I sold him my mixer. I know him personally. He's one of the best DJs in Vancouver. And I mean that seriously. Very entertaining. A lot of effort. Hardest working man in showbiz. Yeah, I sell songs. Yeah, arrangement and transition. Expanding the loop. Is that a question or a statement? I'm honored you're still watching though. That's fun. Where'd the rest of my track go? There it is. One tip in Ableton. Always, always, always consolidate. Hard drives are cheap. Always consolidate. Because when you have all these little clips, each one of them is read from the hard drive as you go. And the RAM, if you have it saved to RAM, you'll get that infamous Live has ran out of memory bug, which should never happen. Consolidation is key. Always consolidate. You consolidate, and then you loop, and then, oh my god, look. My music goes on forever. Right? See? And that's better than like copy. And this frees up the RAM. Because when Live gets all confused when you have like a lot of clips. Like imagine all these in clips, right? So then, so right now we only have 3 clips consisting of a bunch of one-shots. Always be consolidating. Yes. Someone has to make a t-shirt of that. When did you make the commitment to it? When I got laid off from my day job. That was well-paying and very nice. And yeah, it was like the next best thing. I quit DJing to pursue music. Which is weird, isn't it? You lose interest when it comes to arranging. Yeah. I like Ableton, the new version of Ableton, because it makes arrangement easy. Yeah, a lot of people lose interest in arranging. Do I use a drum rack? Sometimes. Not really. I like all my stuff laid out in single file line, like Germany. I like it. Yeah, and that way I can mix and master. And like, say if you have like a drum rack, all those things are in like the one channel. And mind you, you can kind of split them off. But then the processing is like so difficult to get into. If you want to, you have to click in and click around. It's not too good, unless your EQing is spot on to begin with. But yeah, I don't use drum racks. I really should start using it though. I have to because I'm getting push. Oh shit. I just realized that. Again. I have to use drum racks now. So you missed the Will I Scam train. I guess it's the speed thing. I spend all the time doing a loop, and the loop just gets boring. The loop, yeah, you should spend all your time on the loop. And build it up and then build outwards. And that's basically how you make tracks. If you get bored with arrangement, that's kind of scary, bro. You should, maybe you can make the loop and then come back at a later day. Trying to speed up the process of the loop phase would be good. Well, basically, you consolidate and then you loop it, and then you can just copy, right? Like, do that, right? Oops, why'd I delete that? Right, just know your shortcuts. Then, oh my goodness. Tips on percussion. Tips on percussion. Like percussion-y hits. I have one here. If it'll play. What? Oh, I have this down. Percussion-y hits. Delay and reverb. Percussion. Roll off the low end to give it some room and pan it. Well, I auto panned it here, which is very rare to do. But like for percussion, you want it to be punchy. Tips on percussion. That's another loaded question. Not quite sure how I would answer that, or even what the real question is. But yeah, it's the same kind of processing I would do for anything that's not kick or bass or lead. It's just Sato X5 tips of percussion. Yeah. Panning, reverb, delay, EQing, compression, sidechaining. Oh, this is a good example, like to bring out the sound. Like, that sounds kind of boring, but what I did is I have the reverb and delay to where you can barely hear it. But when you bring the threshold down to the compressor, then the reverb comes out. And the sound is fuller in terms of like the rest of the track. And then once you do that, you can kind of like EQ it again if you want. Because when you have an EQ before the compressor on percussion or anything in general, and you bring it down, see compression, it's okay sometimes. It's more of an effect too. But then you can see it brings stuff back up. So then you just roll off again. Oops. And yeah, tip for EQing is even more so. It's so fucking easy now because of the overlay. Finding like the heart of the sound, which is what JJP calls it. It's easy to find an EQ around it, so it's still solid. So like say the heart of the sound is here, right? So if I take that out, right, I totally kill it. Right, so this is what you should do in EQing. It's so fucking easy now because of the thing. I used to have to do this by ear. I used to have to find it, but that takes away the sound, like the heart of the sound. So you can, we'll naturally put it back, and it's there again. But then we can kind of EQ around it. And when you're EQing the high ends, here's where we get into my mixing tips again. When you EQ the high ends, when you reduce here, you really should boost here. It's kind of a compensation thing. It works out so it doesn't sound like off kilter. What's up, bro? But yeah, That's my tip on EQing percussion, because